Ilarian plus Ilarian equals full elf Ilarian. I can't fit through the door. Not only did I get taller, but I got wider. Oh,
I mean, you'd look so stretched out if you did.
Maybe it's not a
probably a good
short
thing.
sword anymore.
breaching my britches.
It's an average sword.
It's very average, yes. I've worked hard to attain it, and I take care of it every day, sometimes twice a day.
It is not short. It is not great. It is sword.
Why, hello there. You may or may not have been hearing us that entire time. Welcome to Link's Tome of Adventure and A House Divided. Good to see you all. So glad you could be here for our second episode of this incredible module that we picked up from Foundry. We're excited to continue into our stories. I'd like to get us started with acknowledging that we are on the traditional and unceded territories of the Musqueam Nation. It is a privilege and pleasure to work, play, and create on these beautiful lands. And if you would like to know more about the stolen lands that you occupy, go to native-land.ca and take a little education trip. Thank you all so much. You know that I'm Sam. I'm your Tome Waver here at Link's Tome of Adventure. Tonight I will be playing Ilarian, who's a odd fellow, perhaps with ears that are longer or shorter than they appear to be, and they are definitely sheathed, yes. Also playing with us tonight, our good friend Irving. I'm going to pass it over to you.
Hello, I am Irving, or I am Loki in the Tome. Tonight I'm playing Lokemos Kodoran, who is just trying to find out where his mom went. He's a one-horned tiefling, just trying to come to the last place that his mom told him about once upon a time.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amy. I play Clover Honeyroot and her best bud, Whisker Biscuit, her couch panther, as she calls it. And we are just trying to figure out what's happening with grounds around the house. Erin, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm Erin. I am playing Vespertine Raventree, and she is a bard who is just, here for the really spooky vibes and going to make a name for herself with the best poetry ever. That's sarcastic. Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm just happy to be here, and I play Marius Raventree, who is less happy to be here. A forensic investigator trying to once bury a legacy and exhume the truth. Oh, sorry, I forgot to pass it off. Trey, wait, no, sorry, God damn it. I'm in the way, y'all. Take this away from my hands.
Pass it over to Trey.
Take
Okay.
away the power.
I'm Trey. I'll be playing Dregovar tonight. He's a dwarven, mysterious individual who has seemingly some attachment to the essence of shadow, and he'll be coming along for the ride as we delve deeper into the house. Who knows what his intentions are? Truly, we'll find out together. Sam.
And if you didn't hear me before, I'll be playing Ilarion, the Paladino Maximus of this party. Yes, quite. Link, take it before I do something horrible.
Oh my god. Hi, everybody. I'm Link from Link's Tome of Adventure, the Link. Thank you all for coming back and hanging out with us tonight and watching our family members start to explore the Raventree Manor, start to dig into some of the mysteries we laid out before. There's a mysterious illness and all sorts of stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you enjoy what you're seeing here tonight, we have a ton of new games opening up at the Tome. And shortly here, we are going to be having a Steven Universe two-shot type, 2 or 3-shot. We'll figure it out, but that'll be a lot of fun. I'll have details about that probably at the end of this stream. But thanks for coming out. It's a lot of fun. This has been introductions from everybody. Does anybody have anything else to say? No?
Let's get into it.
Everybody say hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Chat. All right. let us get into it. Let's get into what happened. Well, last time, our fun family members were meeting each other, just getting to the town of Ferncombe. But before we get into that, our lovely tome keeper has something he would like to say to everybody here. You've returned. How fitting. For our family members are returning tonight as well to their home. Well, the memories of a place they once called home. Memory is such a peculiar thing, so delicate and deceitful. We tell ourselves to remember the places, the people, and the moments that matter, to lock them away as they truly were. But memory is not a mirror. No, it is more like a pond, still, quiet, until it is disturbed. Then the images ripple, blur, deteriorate. And when we eventually return to the places we once knew, the hallways we ran through as children, the house that held our secrets, to the town that watched us grow, we expect familiarity. We expect tension. But often, viewers, we find something else entirely. Time does not wait for sentiment, for emotion, or for nostalgia. Time erodes, replaces, reshape. The paint on the walls heal, the laughter fades, and the faces, so tightly held, get forgotten. What was once home begins to feel haunted. Not by spirit, but by the ghosts of what we thought we would find there. Perhaps that's what's drawing our family members back tonight. To see if their past is still there, patiently waiting. But I have a secret, my viewers. What is waiting for our family members in the Raventree Manor is nothing they remember. How do you think they're going to deal with that? Will they languish in sorrow? Will they deny? Simply try to negotiate their way into a different memory that hurts less? Or will they keep searching, desperately clinging to a reflection of a memory that no longer exists? My warning to the family members tonight is that some reflections, should you find them, can gaze back at you, and they don't always recognize what they see. Now then, shall we begin? All right, everyone. So when we last left the six of you, we were in a forest clearing. Dragovar had just snatched a vial of some sort of strange essence, stolen it away and inhaled it faster than the eye could see. And Clover, Locomos, and I believe Alarian was there too, correct? Had witnessed a young boy from Ferncombe who had led you out here along a hidden footpath that has long since been overgrown. He ran off, and in the midst of some strange-looking iridescent succulents, appears to have been turned into a flock of finches. Attacked some of you and then flew off in a panic. And so we pick up there tonight, and we pick up with Alarian. What's going through your mind, Alarian? The moon is high. It's not quite full tonight. Late into the evening, probably after 11 at this point. You just watch these birds fly off, and your companions here are a bit frazzled. You, I believe, also got injured from these birds. What's going through your mind?
Seeing this child's champion, this little being suddenly become undone or transformed is unsettling, to say the least. It reminds me of how hard I had to train to earn my position with the Raventrees. How I trained hundreds of their soldiers, their guards. At least it felt that way. As we know, several of the family members had a bit of a temper. Some didn't last a week, some didn't last a day, but those who stayed knew and trained with me. And as we accomplish these sets, just thinking on all that time spent readying ourselves for moments like these has me on edge and on guard.
Understandable. And what is Alarian's expression while this is all boiling around in his head?
Alarian thinks there is no expression on his face, but from the flash of everything that happened, there is certainly shock and sorrow. And he's trying very hard to cover, but this kid, the fate that befell them happened on his watch. It's starting to make him mad.
Very good. Locomos and Clover, you were also there witnessing this. Can I have the two of you make me perception checks?
Yeah. We don't see much.
You guys are really caught up in these plants, succulents, and also sort of the horror of what you just witnessed, the realization sinking in that his contact with them caused this transformation, and maybe even some of the more deeper ramifications of the fact that he is now a flock of finches starting to wander through your brains as well is kind of clouding your vision, making it difficult for you to really notice anything. What's going through the two of yours head?
I for sure am freaking out that somehow someone's gonna blame me for that child turning into a bunch of birds. And so Clover's freaking out a little bit. She's quiet, but like her eyes are pretty big, and she's like trying to kind of focus in on like the plant circle area, but her eyes are darting around too much for that to actually be what she's doing.
Locomos is he's less concerned about the child and more concerned about himself being injured. So he's like inspecting his clothes and making sure that nothing's been torn up when the finches were shooting past them.
I do want to remind you that I did heal you.
Very nice. There is some superficial damage to like the top maybe your cloak and some of the top layers of your clothing. There's some scratches and some things like that that would probably need a mending spell as opposed to a healing spell. But overall, no major damage to any of your clothes or hair or anything like that. You did get this healing.
Yeah, but outside of that, I don't want to say he could care less about the kid, but
Right.
for lack of a better phrase, he could care less about the kid.
He's birds, he's gone. What do I got?
Nothing else for me to do here.
All right. So not too far away, the other three, Marius, Vesper, and Dragovar, you are in the clearing that you all met, that Dragovar descended upon, and you guys were walking through the woods, and you would have seen the birds kind of take off, maybe through the trees, and Vesper, you healed up some of these wounds. So we'll start with you, Vesper. What's going through your brain right now?
Man, that kid is gonna have a cool story to tell his new bird friends. Like, that was badass. The spirits, we told him that the spirits had a destiny, had something to say about what was gonna happen.
We warned him, so it's fine.
Listen, who am I to say that a humanoid experience is better than a bird experience? I don't know. I haven't been a bird.
Not a druid.
I'm definitely not a druid.
Can I have the three of you in the clearing, so Marius, Vesper, and Dragovar, can I have the three of you make perception checks? Ooh. See here. Ooh, very nice. So, Vesper, you're already turning over in your brain some stanzas about how this kid turned into a bird. It's like starting to come together, but you're gonna have to sit down and write it out, right? You're gonna have to flex some of these rhymes. So you're working on that for a little bit, and Marius, you're looking around the area, and you are on one side of the clearing, Dragovar is kind of on the other side of the clearing. You guys have kind of kept a distance, kept an eye on each other after that tense encounter last time, and you both, your eyes drift kind of in the same direction, and almost simultaneously both your eyes land on the same thing. It's some sort of scrap of paper that's, the clearing is a circle and you guys are on like opposite sides. It's like equidistance from the two of you. It seems to be caught on a branch. Yeah, it's like on the edge of the circle, but like just about equidistant from you guys. It seems to be caught on a branch or a stick of some sort, and it's kind of flapping gently in the breeze.
Walk over to it. Is it
I will.
within reach?
It is. Yeah, it's 'cause your average human height. So yeah, it's about waist high for you.
What were you saying, Trey?
Oh, I was saying I just watch him as he goes. Make no move. I'm just.
I give a little bit of a look of like, are you gonna eat this clue too?
Yeah.
Great. And I'll go ahead and take it off and see what's going on. Unfurl it.
Yeah, it
Check the
seems
backside.
to be some sort of letter, torn letter. You got most of it. Whoever it was addressed to, their name is missing, but most of the rest of it is here, and kind of in the moonlight, you can catch most of the words. Your name has been recommended to me as a potential candidate. I have a matter of utmost importance that must remain private. There's a little bit missing, some chunks missing. Securing the ground. As a show of good faith, I will provide 200 gold to each member who completes this scouting task. And there's another missing chunk. Additional pay can be provided if you can help us secure the perimeter of the estate. If you'd like to accept this work, please respond to this letter by courier, and we will meet you in the town of Ferncombe shortly. If you have any allies, associates that you trust to assist you in this, please bring them as well after letting them see this letter. Kindest regards, Bacilla, Cornavius, Dano. Put that into the Forge chat here.
Okay. The name that was missing at the top there, how exactly is the page ripped? Does it look like something was erased or scrawled out?
Or was it conveniently ripped so like it was just the name that was
That's
missing?
what I'm.
It's just there's like pieces of this missing, kind of chunks that have been either smudged out. It looks like this paper's been here for weeks, maybe months. It's kind of flapping in the breeze, so like pieces of it have torn off. Maybe birds have taken some of it too.
It's definitely not suspicious at all.
That is the name that's at the bottom. Who it was from.
Raventree Manor. I definitely thought that said coronavirus at first. I was like, no.
Yep. I always have to. I have to catch myself every time.
I would like to make an investigation check on this piece of paper, if I may. Sort of take out a little magnifying glass, try to see if there's any signs of intention. You know, like if someone like ripped off the top, they'd have to grab it with another hand, for example, right? To give it a tear. Are there crinkles? Is it the signs of a small hand or a large hand? Just kind of trying to see the things that maybe they forgot to cover up.
Yeah.
Or didn't think to.
Very nice. There is evidence that somebody did in fact rip the top of this paper to remove just the name. Everywhere else that's missing has been either smudged or torn. Looks like it was torn by animals, by talons, or by beaks, things of that nature. And in fact, it looks like a bunch of bugs shot through this paper at one point. There's a bunch stuck on the back. But the name specifically is, much to your hunches, missing on purpose. It's a jagged edge. It looks like it was, it's a clean edge. Looks like it was torn by a hand, a small, delicate hand. And it was done fairly quickly.
Interesting. Okay. I'll turn towards the others here, and sort of holding up the extremely weathered page, say, seems we were expected, invited even.
By who, darling?
Well, one Bacilla Corvinus Danos. Does that name mean anything to you?
Nope, that's not who invited me either, so this is interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, you weren't invited?
No, I was invited. That's just not the same person that invited me.
Oh, sorry. No, that was to Marius.
Oh, my bad.
Because I was invited.
I wasn't invited additionally by someone who left a note for me weeks in advance. That's
Fair enough.
And I'll show it. I'll show the contents letter, everything that's said. Like, yeah, here, take a look for yourself. But like, it's been here for a while. It's very strange.
I have
Perhaps a diviner?
Marius, Alarian, and Vesper give me history check.
Okay.
Nailing these rolls tonight.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Crushing it.
Don't you just wait till we get to combat. Don't count on
Yeah, we know how this goes.
Yeah,
None of the
we
harmony
all-
dice work.
We have friends
Just
like
don't
you.
ask-
It's okay.
Just don't ask me to make a charisma roll as a bard. It's fine.
It's fine. It's okay. We got it. All right. So, Vesper and Marius, you would both realize after turning it over in your brain a little bit. His name is hounding me tonight. Corvinarius is how I'm going to pronounce it. The Corvinarius is a name that somewhere along the lineage, the Raventrees, somebody changed their last name, became Corvinariuses, and they descend in a particular way. And in fact, Vesper, you know that at some point in your lineage, your family changed the name back to Raventree.
Just me, but yeah.
Exactly. Your mom was so mad.
Honestly, they're still pretty mad about it. Let's not get into it.
Yeah, it's fine. But yes, you guys would know that that is what the Corvinarius line is descended from the Raventrees.
Interesting.
I
Perhaps
did
this was meant
not
for you.
know that.
Yeah, it's probably just, like families, they marry other people, they take other names. I think that they're in the family tree,
Do you
Right.
think they're here somewhere? In the house?
Well,
or-
they weren't the one who invited me, so I have no idea.
I wonder if they knew what this red scullion is.
Perhaps it is another type of bird.
I don't think so. Can I take a look at like the circle where this boy exploded into birds a little bit more, please?
Yeah. So you go up to this ring, the edge of this like circle, probably about 10-foot diameter, or radius circle, of these iridescent, sharp-looking succulents that are just up out of the ground, maybe 3-4 inches tall. In the dark of the night with the moonlight, it'd probably be really hard to notice them unless you were looking for them. So it's no wonder this kid just stumbled into them by accident. They all seem to be covered in this fine powder that's similar to those blue lilies from before.
Mm. The ones with Miss Jenkins's.
Mm-hmm. Like a little. It's a similar kind of powder. It kind of coats the petals and the leaves, and so when he ran through them, it kicked all this dust up, and we suspect that's what did him in.
Y'all be careful now while you're looking around, okay? Don't be dusting anything up too much, all right? I don't know if that's what turned this little boy into a bunch of birds, but it might have.
Vesper gets out her notebook and says, "There's so many good rhymes for whore." Sorry, you
You're not
reminded me
wrong.
about Miss Jenkins.
I didn't know slut rhymed with whore.
Yes, Alarian, it does.
That makes sense.
You should probably start writing your own poetry as well.
Oh, nobody can read my handwriting. Have you seen Elven cursive? It's just atrocious.
Yes,
Well,
I have
mean,
actually.
yeah. Yes.
Nope.
I try to parse mysteries for a living, and I can't make sense of it. So that's fair. Well, not exactly a fan of being summoned, but seems like
I mean, I
whoever
was
sent it-
cordially invited, so
Yeah.
sorry
Yeah.
y'all got summoned.
Yes, I too was invited.
You all were summoned here.
Wait, who invited you?
I'm no one. I've just been searching for whatever the Red Scullion is. Wherever the Red Scullion is.
Mm-mm.
Who's ever?
Oops.
So you
No
keep
one ever
mentioning
asked
the red scullion. What does it mean to you? I'm
How
curious.
did you? Yeah.
What's the drive
It's-
behind trying to figure it out?
I'm trying. I heard that they had something to do with my mother. I'm just unsure of who, what, when, where, or why. And I remember my mother speaking of this city, so it's the only lead that I have to go on.
Respect that.
Under her breath, Vesper says, "New in town and looking for answers, his bearing dark and stormy. The question of Red Scullion, the thing of importance to one so horny."
What? Yes. Yes. He's gonna take a look back at Vesper, and okay, whatever. Yes, I don't know what they have to do with my mother, but they have something to do with her. I just need to figure out what. I'm hoping that the mansion may give me answers.
Well, only one way to find out.
Mr. DM, the Red Scallion isn't like some weird plant or something, like some weird special flower that they had or something in their garden.
Give me a history check.
Ooh, better than I thought.
Well, no, that is not ringing any sort of bells in your head as to any sort of plant or anything that your dad talked about during his time tending grounds.
Alrighty.
But as you guys are all standing there, wondering this, turning these things over, trying to make the pieces fit, there's suddenly a loud screaming cutting from not far away to the north. It's a blood-curdling scream that sends a chill down all of your spine.
Animal or like mortal?
Like a human.
Ooh. All
I
right.
like that.
Well, crap.
Oh, we're going toward it?
That's right. Let's do it.
I mean,
do you need a little top up of heroism?
What do you mean by
No.
puff puff of heroism?
No, thank you.
Just like, yeah, ready for some heroism.
Oh.
A puff pass.
Mm. She gets on Whisker Biscuit and pods off in that direction of the screen. I'm gonna get real stealth-like though before we walk up on it.
I'm gonna
Alrighty.
go
Good.
all the way to the back and like
Okay.
take up the rear.
Okay. Who is behind
Draw
Clover?
And a crossbow.
Whoever behind Clover can give me the stealth check next. We're gonna need a stealth check from everybody, unless you are not attempting to be stealthy.
Can I attempt to not be stealthy to help them by like attracting attention to myself?
Aggro attention.
Yeah, I'll just like draw my blade and like put it behind my back and just kind of like saunter forward.
Right?
Marius
Basic.
trips over his crossbow.
Yeah, it's like fiddling with it. God, what? Oh, I always forget about the safety.
Oh, it was both of you.
Both of us did.
Yeah,
Not
sorry.
so.
That's okay.
These were some rough rolls.
I did technically make it into double digits, but
Yo,
only
DM.
just.
Yes.
DM, why do I have a -2 on stealth?
I don't know. Are you in Are you in
Armor,
armor?
maybe?
You shouldn't be in armor.
Shouldn't. I'm not wearing any.
Whisker Biscuit rolled a 12.
Oh,
It's
I forgot that animals have their own stats now, and it's a whole like creature.
all right. As you guys are making your way along, creeping up towards where the scream occurred, taking one step, another gentle step. Clover, you're keeping your eye out, tactfully, silently help the party scramble around some silver grass. Vespertine, you have keen eyes that are watching the sides of Clover at all times, so you're not going to get flanked.
I think I'm still like writing poetry in my head, so like I am stepping lightly, but like that's the best I can do right now.
Yep.
Watch the grass. Just watch the grass. That's all I care about.
Mhm.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's working. It's you from years of like creeping down to the library or like down the stairs of your house so that your mom doesn't hear you, so that you don't get a lecture. Very good at keeping your footsteps like light and soft. Whiskers is going ahead and kind of knocking over some of the brush intentionally almost to draw attention. He's off to the left of you all, maybe drawing some attention that way and off of you guys. Circle around towards what looks like another clearing. And then all of you hear a snapping branch behind you. It's a loud crack. Dragovar, what do you do?
Spin around on my heels and look behind me.
Do so, you find a panicked tiefling with his hands up, terrified, staring into your eyes. As Locomos has cracked a large stick, everybody else walked over.
All right.
I look at him and I'm like, liable to get yourself caught if you're not careful.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry. Not very sneaky.
Turn around. Go back the way I was going.
As you all keep going, with only a minor inconvenience as Mary sits its head on a low branch. You guys come into a new clearing, and in the distance, through the tree line, you can see a large building. Can't quite make out the features yet, but you all feel a pull, familiar pull towards it. The manor is within your grasp. However, in this clearing, there are two corpses, a dwarf and an elf. They're scattered up against trees on opposite sides of the clearing, wearing leather armor, bags next to them. And the stench coming from the clearing is foul, putrid, and rotted. They've been dead for a while.
Do we need to talk to them?
I think they're dead.
Yeah, I know. I
Uh.
can talk to spirits.
I think Whisker Biscuit and I are going to do a quick perimeter check. Would anyone like to come with us?
that's a good idea.
I probably shouldn't.
Okay,
Vesper's
all
gonna
right.
sit down next to the stinky bodies and cast
We got
Speak with
this.
Dead on the elf.
I'm gonna accompany her.
Very nice. Okay, so those doing a perimeter check can give me an investigation check. Or survival, their choice. Vesper, as you cast with Dead, what does that look like?
She pulls out like a deck of tarot cards and is kind of like grabbing onto her pendant and also laying out some cards and speaking softly to spirits and saying, come talk with me, come tell me your story, that sort of thing. If she had a crystal ball, she would definitely pull it out now, but she packed lightly.
Crystal balls are expensive. You can't just lugging those
Yeah.
everywhere.
Exactly. And heavy. Like,
Yeah, they're surprisingly heavy.
The idea
But,
of doing like a spirit AMA.
As you shuffle the cards and you fan them out face down in front of you, you have a little cloth that you put them on, because you're not putting these cards on the dirt.
no way.
Absolutely not.
And it's all about presentation here.
Yeah, you gotta clear off the area, you gotta sweep it up, you gotta put out your little your mat, your little handkerchief, and you fan the cards out as best you can, and you begin talking, and you feel your pendant, your locket, almost pulse with this energy, kind of like a sonar, pulses out, this energy goes out, and then it pulses again. And the second time it pulses, you hear a ringing bell not far away. And on a third pulse, you hear that ring get a little bit closer. On the fourth and final ring, the very stiff elven hand in front of you, missing some of its flesh from animals eating and gnawing at it, crack, flexes its fingers, and begin to move its hand towards the deck of cards in front of you.
Hi, friend. Could you tell us what happened to you that got you into this state?
The hand waves over the card, for it pulls one and flips over the Three of Pentacles, which indicates this person was hired for a job. They were brought here for coin, and they willingly joined into this contract to come and be here.
I ask if he's related to the family.
Again, the hand creaks and cracks, and you see the ligament moving with effort before turning over the Fool, indicating no, he was not related to the family, and he feels tricked somehow.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Again, sorry about your predicament. What got you in the end?
Once more the hand moves, and it turns over the Ten of Swords, indicating a lot of small wound, all plunged into his back.
Hey, I got 2 more questions. Anybody have anything they want to ask this guy?
Marius
We're
pulls
gonna
out
go-
the letter and asks, was he the one, or were they hired? Is this them that's referring?
Or
And
names in general.
Yeah.
Vesper says, was this to you? And your party?
He pulls out the Four of Cups, indicating somebody who is asking for help. Take that to mean yes.
Right.
And
Who are
before
they?
we get to the last question, we do have Clover, who made a survival check. And as you're kind of digging around, Clover, you do a quick perimeter sweep. You find a couple of these succulent patches off on the sides. You find a little patch of just 3 of those blue flowers. No silver grass. However, in the brush, on both sides of these corpses, one on each of the areas around the corpses, you find 4 or 5 letters that all kind of look identical to the one Marius showed you before. All signed by the same person, all written in the same hand, and all missing the names as to who they were assigned to.
Hey, y'all, I found something over here. I found a bunch of letters that are also still missing the names of who they're to, but they all look pretty much the same.
Hmm.
I'll show them to Marius. Here you go.
Thank you. What the heck is
strange.
going on here? So different people were hired for their help and then
And
lured
tricked.
towards the family and then or towards the manor and then killed before even going in.
Can you talk to the other one?
Probably not today. I could probably
That's
do it
all right.
tomorrow.
Mario starts, silent, kind of grumbling to himself, not to anybody else, but just about the arbitrary rules of magic. So
But I do have one more question for this guy, Clover. So if you've got something you need asked.
I mean, what's the name of him and his compatriots?
who were they? Yeah.
He's not very talkative at this point. It's more like I am interpreting his cards. I think he's been dead long enough that, there's been some decomposition.
Good check for
He
identification.
stinks. Search the
That-
bodies always.
I think Marius is work on that.
I
Look,
asked
Miller.
I asked the guy if he has anybody he needs for us to tell about what happened to him.
This time it takes a moment, almost as if the spirit inhabiting this body is searching for a memory that will answer your question. And eventually, the hand moves, reassuring you that the spell did not, in fact, just fizzle out. And eventually, it turns over the 10 of Cups. Card showing a house, family with their back to the house, or to you, looking at the house. 2 children, a wife and a husband, all holding hands, and a beautiful rainbow above the house. What's interesting, Vesper, is you've never seen this house before. This is not the house that was on the deck this morning. It looks like it's overlooking the ocean, the sea, and off in the distance, in the background, you can see Waterdeep's skyline. So it's a house not far from Waterdeep, and you feel you know how to find this house if you need it.
She just says, "I'll do my best to pass on your story. Stories are important. Rest well."
Clatter and a cracking nod. The body goes limp once.
She packs up all of her stuff and also pulls out, because I think Clover and Marius were close to her because they were involved in the conversation. And she hands them both a card, and it says Vespertine Raventree, Diviner, Prophetic Poetry, Palmistry, and tarot, and it has a big tree with a raven on it, and it says, "For all of your event needs."
Can't hear you.
Says, thank you. That's very handy services in my field, especially.
You know, you've got to network where you can.
True. Now for the gross part.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Maris,
do that part, so that's up to you, buddy.
Maris will squat down, sort of the black coat is like in the dirt now. He's gonna get in there, and I'd like to not just investigate, but do like a medicine check. You know, moving moving the head around. Like, really, I want to invent like what happened to these people. He's
Yeah.
also wondering if there's some time thing going on, maybe, because people seem like the weatheredness of the paper, and we heard a scream just now, but the bodies have been here for weeks. It's a purely speculation that maybe there's some time fuckery happening, but there would be signs, right, of age and things not quite lining up, or maybe there's something else he hasn't thought of that will get closer to the right track.
So start with an investigation check for the time nonsense, and just generally around the body. Then we'll do a medicine check. And which of the bodies would you like to investigate first?
I'll investigate the one that we didn't talk to.
Okay,
Since
the dwarf.
We kind of already got that the person had been stabbed, which I'm sure is also obvious. All right, let's look into this. Whoa,
Oh my.
that is quite good.
That's not quite a crit, but that is damn near close.
Very close.
It might as
Very
well
close.
be.
Honestly.
Tell me everything. What happened here?
So here are my notes.
Yay! I don't have to write them.
So, with a 28, you would realize that this body has been here for probably a month, maybe 6 weeks, which is pretty consistent with some of the pages you've been finding. Some of those pages have been very recent, within like 2 weeks, whereas a lot of them are older within the last, you date them anywhere between like a month to 6 months.
Mhm.
And as far as you can tell, there's no apparent time nonsense going on with these bodies or the papers that you have found so far.
That's good.
You also can deduce that the scream that you heard probably came from closer to the house. It came from this direction, but it came closer to the house.
Okay. Someone still might be in danger. We might have to come back to this later. Oh, walking away from a crime scene, though. Oh, that's hard. I'll stand up, share what I've got. Oh, right. You wanted I need a medicine.
Yes, if you'd like to do a medicine check and kind of check over this dwarf here.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm distracted. Been like, okay, there's the scream was something else. That's
Yep.
kind of all that matters right now.
All you can really find out is that this dwarf is kind of bloated. He's a little purpled, and there are several large bite marks, like singular twin puncture marks, kind of multiple parts in his body that led him to get kind of puffy and these thick purpled veins.
Thick puncture marks, you say, or paired puncture marks.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
All over his form. There's probably like a dozen of them.
Oh. I'll point them out to the group. It's not that surprising.
Dracovar will, after being pointed this out to, will start to saunter a little closer to the bodies until he can see, their faces. He looks like he's trying to concentrate to see if he can remember anything about this. has any memory of what's going on here.
Yeah, give me a history check. The dwarf, you look at him and you feel kind of apathy. You've seen his face before. You are not a huge fan of whatever he was, and the name Arthur is dredging itself up to the surface somehow of your brain. You feel a sadness, but not regret towards him. And the elf, you are not getting really anything. You don't recognize him at all. You've never seen his face before, or at least, at the very least, nothing is coming up when you look at him.
I'll look at the dwarf and be like, Arthur.
Did you know him?
Fragmented. Rings true. I do not have feelings about this one's death. Maybe his fate is deserved. I do not know the other.
I think Marius is going to officially, I would like to use my my class feature to officially set up a case. I'd like to pursue a lead on this
Very nice.
series of murders, possibly a serial killer vampire.
Very nice.
I think the case will just be called Entry Wounds.
I love it. I love it. Can you toss the ability up in
Yes.
chat?
Absolutely.
There we are. Aha. So what does that all look like? How do you formally open this case, Arius?
I think the notes. It takes notes. Some of them are just like passive musings. Others are like, oh, that was interesting, but I don't really have anything of it. You don't know what looking back is going to be the like, oh, aha, the eureka moment. But like the back of the notebook, like the other side, the back pages are like, this is something I'm actively looking for, right? The random musings at the entry, but this is. So he flips to the back, goes through a couple of cases past, and like puts a header properly, like the entry wounds case, and then notes like, same kill method of the mirrored puncture wounds, bodies all in the foyer, and that they all seem to have been hired by the same person, allured with a job only to be murdered here. Like there's a pattern that's being established. So he's noting down in his book, and then therefore in his mind, like, what are the things that I need to look for? Like these are happening in every case. And once that happens, there's like a look of purpose in his eyes. The detective with a dog chasing cars now. Kind of aura changes a little bit.
Very nice. Love that.
So should we head towards that scream that hopefully has not developed further in the minutes since we've been here?
I dearly hope not. I suppose we've no choice.
You could try screaming back.
probably would recommend against that in particular.
Clover, now realizing who she's with, is going to cast Pass Without a Trace if everybody would like to help stealth our way up to whatever the heck happened.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very, very exciting. We just got raided. We'll take a moment to thank the raiders here. It is
Hi, Raiders.
hello. That is the Nelly Forge. We love you. Hi, welcome in. Welcome to Link's Tome. We are running House Divided tonight, our spooky gothic horror adventure. So we are just in the middle of an investigation on some corpses that have various mirrored puncture wounds all over them. So we hope you enjoy. Welcome on in. Wow, we love you. Thanks so much for the raid. All right. So, Clover, you were casting Pass Without Trace. Did I hear that right?
I sure was.
All right. And what does that look like for Clover? How do you cast this?
So I think like shadow itself kind of like pulls in from the forest around her and kind of like disperses around, but there's also like a hint of red cat hair in everything too in that complete circle. We are one and the same. Call upon that cat lineage to get us where we need to go. Couch
Vesper
Panthers
starts
unite.
wiping off her black clothing because, oh, jeez.
Is that how you cast
Just gets
jump as well?
everywhere.
Achoo!
Most things will involve the hair.
Yeah.
It's got magical properties.
Lokemos would also like to pull out his grimoire, and so he pulls off from the side, and it's this really big black grimoire with kind of like, if you've seen Hocus Pocus, it looks like that without the eye. But instead of an eye, it's got a big red C on it. And he's gonna flip it through it, and he's gonna cast Find Familiar.
Okay.
And so when he casts the spell from this grimoire, it's actually gonna be red instead of his green. And
Nice.
I'm going to have a bat familiar.
A bat familiar. Okay, so
Yeah.
you do your hand signs, you pull the magic out of this book, you call the incantations, and there's a silence over the wood. Stillness, even the wind has died down, and then you hear this screeching, chittering, flapping as this red, skinny looking bat flies down and begins circling your head erratically. Okay, Mo. Squeaking the whole time.
Friend, I want you to investigate the surrounding area. Keep watch on our friends as well.
He flies off and begins kind of circling. Those of you with dark vision would be able to keep an eye on them off in the woods. They stay just off the path that you guys are following, but ever so close that they're nearby.
Literally, as
And-
you were talking about that, some crows just went by my window. It's like, that was perfect.
I planned it.
Chef's kiss.
It's the programming we put in those drones birds.
Attention to detail.
I knew it.
All right, as you
Production
guys begin making your way towards the manor proper, can I have each of you make me another stealth check, this time with a +10 situational bonus added on due to the shadow and cat hair that is clinging to your boot.
Now that's what I like to see as a group.
I cannot believe
that's a
Thank
30.
you very much.
without that, I would have gotten the exact same.
It's the squeaking of the bat just around your head. He's giving you away.
Golly.
Mine's a 30, not a 20.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Alarian, I have a question for you, and I'm very sorry to be this person. Are you wearing heavy armor?
Oh, no.
Oh, totally.
So I'm very sorry to say that 17 might be worse.
Oh.
Law of averages?
We'll take the 17. We'll take
At least
the
he's
17.
got a short
Take the 17.
short sword.
Yeah.
Gee, did I tell you?
All right. So, as you guys creep along, silently padding with only some squeaks and a few clanks, you eventually come out of the tree line and find yourself front the manor. Get this one up. One moment. Pull this guy up. The estate itself stands atop a modest hill, deep forest of mottled green and brown. Its distinctive roof slant and rises steeply over the canopy of gnarled trees around it, which line the perimeter property. What can be seen of it betrays the haggard state of the structure, as sections of the roof are sagging inward or already collapsed. The surrounding grounds are overgrown, thorns, wizened ivy running rampant over the flagged pavestones and up the sides of the building around you, digging itself deep into the seams of this stonework. The property is surrounded by high hedges and a heavy wrought iron fence. Within a gap in this boundary stands a tall, double-wide iron gate, its hinges twisted and hanging limply open. The Raventree Manor itself is only a few years short of total ruin, its exterior stonework crumbling and stained by years of neglect. The manor presents a blocky facade, 3 floors, and a pair of short towers rising above the slate roof. The windows, if they could still be called that, are shattered remnants, frames mostly without glass, although the remnants expert stained glass work is apparent. There's no light visible from within the structure, although in the moonlight outside, in front of the iron gate, hanging open, you see a body in a pool of fresh blood lying face down in the dirt.
Or huh?
Are they alive?
Go find
I'll
out.
look to Doc. Doc, what we doing?
Makemos will walk over to see if they're alive or not.
I'll come with you.
Can I look around the area for any tracks to see maybe what the perpetrator was?
Yeah, so Clover, give me a survival check to find some tracks. And why
Ooh.
don't I have... Okay, Mos, you kneel down next to the body. And as you do so, you kind of kneel, you go to check, see, as you get closer, you see it is a young woman. And her neck is twisted in such a strange way, and she's lying haphazardly. You kneel down next to her to see what is going on and to see if she even has a pulse. She suddenly lurches up and grabs you around the throat. Valarian, what do you do?
Let go.
Not fast enough. I need Lokemos to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Does anyone else like hear or see this little scuffle that just happened?
Marius is there as well.
With a 17, your dexterity. Oops. Hit 1S. I need a D6. There we go. You take 5 bludgeoning damage and she like crushes your trachea and like the last of her strength and collapses onto the ground. Dead.
Oh, God. Okay. Hate that. How?
You all right?
Like she grips it and then it relaxes as she
Yeah, she used the last of her strength to like jump up at something she thought was going to harm her, did damage, and then collapsed to the ground, and she is now still.
Are you all right?
Yes, it didn't hurt a lot. It still hurt, though.
Look dead to me.
Wow. Won't be getting any questions out of that one.
Sorry I missed that. Do you mind if I fix it?
No, please.
Think good thoughts. I'll heal you for 5.
Thank you.
Not matching, it's just the minimum.
Thank you. Well, I suppose the culprit's probably still around here then.
likely.
I double tap and just stab my longsword through her neck.
Good call.
Always do the double tap.
Clover, with your 25 survival, you look inside the gate. You see footprints that are fresh, that are going around the outside of this entire wrought iron fence, that are consistent with her boots. She's wearing leather boots. There's dozens of other tracks that are old, weeks, months old, but these tracks are fresh, consistent with her boots. But other than that, you don't see any other track, animal, human, or otherwise.
Whatever did this didn't have any feet.
Could this have been something that could fly?
Or it could be using magic similar to yours.
So when Clover says that, Vesper goes up to Marius and says, the spirits told me earlier that a spider was going to eat Alarian. Could the 2 marks be spider bites?
Fang bites,
Yeah, and with that, I'm like, I'm gonna try and help you figure this out. And so she's gonna cast Bardic Inspiration, and she's gonna say, gathering information and clues over treasure, a squirrel stashing nuts, eschewing the world's baser pleasures like a dog sniffing butts.
Very inspiring.
I'm so
Should write
glad you
down.
thought so.
You should
Did you
really
guys
write a
start getting-
book.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
Vesper, you hear a voice in your head as you inspire your compatriot here. The housebound have found her. Another family member, silent.
I think Vesper's used to the voice being a little confusing, and she just kind of goes with it.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll see how that turns out. If I put it together, I will, but right now.
Yeah,
All right,
being
so
a giant
looking.
spider makes a lot of sense actually. Explains the tracks, explains the bites, could be from Fang there. Doesn't explain the notes though. So it might have a wrangler.
Well, if you need some help now figuring that out, you've been inspired.
I feel inspired.
Oh, good.
Marius will, yeah, I mean, let's see if she's got the marks all over.
Yeah, give me an investigation check and then a medicine check.
Okay, let's throw the bardic on that medicine check and try and get a decent result.
You get an extra D8.
D8.
Woo woo.
Amazing.
Hell yeah,
Right.
we'll take
We're
it.
Double digits. Woo.
We'll take it.
Probably should have done it on the investigation, but whatever.
So with the investigation check, you see pretty simple. She's a young woman in her early 30s, auburn hair, fair skin. She's dressed for travel, sturdy clothes, best suited for kind of the terrain of the woods over here. Being out in the elements, long gloves, things of that nature, high boots protecting her legs, and a double-breasted leather coat. The other thing is she has a leather-bound book hanging off a long strap side that's now, as you kind of roll her over, she landed on that. And it has a raven's skull embossed kind of on the front of it.
Well, let's, detach that and take a look. Marius is very tempted, wants to like scour through it all, but there's still a giant spider maybe on the loose, so
That's
pocket
fair.
that for later.
As for the medicine check, you do not find any of those puncture wounds you've been seeing.
Interesting.
But what happened to this woman is very confusing. Her neck is snapped. It looks like she also suffered strangulation, but there are also lacerations on her arms. There's twists in her flesh. It looks like several of her bones were broken in odd and strange ways that would suggest multiple assailants.
I'll point that out as well, everybody.
Multiple assailants, you say? Are you sure?
I don't like that.
Hands
Yeah,
on her hips.
there's-
She's like looking around like. None of them
I'll
got
point-
feet.
I'll
Y'all,
point
you
out
gotta
the
explain that.
inconsistencies. Yeah.
They have like pokey feet, like real pointy.
No, ain't no critters, nothing. I'm telling you. Nothing had feet.
Marius will take the magnifying glass and like adjust the setting on it. That doesn't work for very long, but I'm going to cast Magifinding Glass, also known as Detect Magic.
Believe it.
And for sorry, just trying to get rid of that. There we go. We'll try and see if there's any magic on the body, the house, the area, and we'll just keep that up for 10 minutes. Oh, I can't.
Can't hear you, Link.
There we are.
Yeah, we got it.
Here is another raid. Lovely. Welcome in, raiders. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the tome. Welcome to our play of House Divided, Spooky Gothic Horror. We're in the middle of investigating a mysterious murder that was just committed with multiple assailants, but no footprints left in the dirt outside our ruined manor. But this is what this young woman used to look like, minus all the horrific wounds that did her in.
Oh,
So-
sorry, I forgot to ask you. Is this related to the entry wounds case? Because if so, I get advantage on my investigation check.
From what you can tell, this person, this young woman, her wounds are not consistent with the entry wounds case. So for now, it is not related.
Okay.
As far as your detect magic goes, how you pull out your magi-finding glass? Is that an actual? Do you summon this?
No, I just renamed the spell because
I love that. But what is this? How does Marius look or react to casting the spell? What does it look like?
got very limited use of magic. Like magic isn't really his thing. It's very utility, right? Like you know, being able to move stuff at range, handy. Being able to whisper things at range, handy. Being able to look for magic, handy, especially when you're a detective. Beyond that, magic not my thing. So it's very much like you probably could cast detect magic through regular means or like some sort of arcane sigils or whatever, but like what it connected to was just like take something that actually exists, take something that's real material. So he uses his actual magnifying glass and then uses the limited divination abilities he has to let's expand on that. Let's see past the veil. Let's see into the fabric of the world to see what kind of schools of magic are influencing reality here, and then looks through that same lens.
You see, okay, so I'm pretty sure that this, as you look through the magnifying glass, you see 4 nodes of this purple silvery magic, this aura that you know be an indication of illusion, or in certain cases can also indicate invisible creature. And it is on the other side of the gate, on the grounds of the estate. These 4 little nodes are moving away from the gate, 2 to the west and 2 to the east, kind of around the perimeter of this fence on the inside.
Wait, like actually actively moving away from us?
Yeah, these 2 nodes of 4 nodes of magic are moving to 2 pairs moving away, one to the west and one to the east, around the perimeter of this fence.
I'll point it out. Just 4 things moving away from us, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Either invisible or blending in with the background. I can't.
I don't know if should we even bother with them.
Well,
they may bother with us.
Especially given some of you received invitations here.
We could bother with them first.
You know what? Screw this. Howdy, y'all. Anybody here expecting a good, great party of fantastic people?
Can I use my thaumaturgy to echo that voice out for Clover?
Yeah, you can echo that out. Make it loud, boom. You're gonna shake the house ever so slightly with this boom, shake the trees, and some of the glass fall, the remnants of the glass fall out of what was left of these frames.
Whisker Biscuit is hissing like nothing else, and I'm like, shh, psh, 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 you're okay, calm down. I know that was real loud. I've never been that loud before. That was scary for me too. You're okay.
Marius, all 4 of these nodes have now reconverged together into a large illusory node in front of the open gate. They've sped over here almost in a blink. All 4 of them have appeared in front of the gate, congregating, but they are 4 distinct nodes.
I'll turn to or look to Clover for a second, but I definitely heard you.
I look at Vesper and I'm like, I don't talk to spirits.
It might not be spirits.
Spirits don't usually move stuff. Like, you can't usually see them. Just FYI, you know. And Vesper takes a quick step behind Ilarion.
Camos is also going to take a couple steps back.
So you were going to say
him behind Ilarion.
Form a line.
And then they use
phalanx.
The Ranger and the Couch Panther at the far back just like spooked.
Ooh.
I'll look at these I'll look forward towards the gate. State your intention.
You hear heavy footfalls, Alarian, and raspy breathing as 4 figures dressed not too dissimilarly from you, Alarian, similar cut of armor and fabric, except tattered, similar crest, wielding large rusted blades. These ethereal guards come into being. State your purpose.
That was my question, but I am Captain Alarian Tavora. At your service, if you still are in service of this place.
Captain Dvoras, my apologies. Did not recognize you in the fog. Please, come inside quickly. It's dangerous out there.
And safe passage for my companions.
They travel with you?
They travel under the protection of the Raventree House, yes.
So be it. The 4 move aside, 2 on each side of the gate, to allow you entry. But, my dear viewers, and my beloved family members, that is where we are going to take our human break. For now, we're going to take 10 minutes. We're going to go get up, get a snack, get a drink, water yourself, unwater yourself, take a lap, and we will be back shortly for next half of our adventure.
Oh, hey, we didn't see you there. We're back. The break. I hope you've watered and unwatered yourselves because there's no more time. We're doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
Doing it.
Although
No.
we won't know if you do. So
Yeah. You can go
yeah,
right ahead.
Yeah, put us
You
on your
should take
phone.
care of yourselves at all times and not like live your life strapped to a TV or anything.
Yeah.
You do you, but you should do you in front of us, because that's a lot of fun. Wait a minute.
That's for the
That-
after
stream.
That came out. My brain slowly turns to mush over the course of these episodes.
We
Nobody clip
warned
that.
everybody this was 18 and up, right?
Somebody clip it fast.
Nobody clip that.
It's too late. I got a button.
Every time.
Every time.
you know, if only the spider poetry had been clipped. Too bad it was on the break.
Oh, that poetry.
Gotta
Yes, waxing philosophical. Weaving our webs.
it rhymes for the VOD.
Right now, all of you, before I have to get the bonk emotes out. Oh, right. So, last we left our family, they had just been allowed access to the Raventree Estate grounds, having discovered some strange, invisible creatures that had murdered a woman outside of their gate. These guards, 4 of them, are dressed much like Alarian, and after realizing that Captain Alarian is here, they allowed them inside. Now, as you all walk into through the gate, onto the grounds proper, the guards surround Alarian, 2 on each side, and they begin walking you guys to the left, the west. You just said it, Alarian. What is your last name?
Tavora.
Captain Tafora, what are your reports? We have many reports to go over here with you. State of the affairs, several pay, raise, applications, things of that nature. We have new guards. Are you going to be here long? Are you going to be here very briefly?
A little bit of both, really. First of all, inspection. I see your uniform is not up to standard. Scuffed? Marked?
See through.
All four of them, as soon as you say the word inspection, all four of them stop, they freeze, sort of swoop in front of you and form a line. They present themselves for inspection, and all of them hang their heads in shame. We apologize, Captain Tafora. We were unaware of your arrival, but that is no excuse. We should be ready at all times, and this is unacceptable. Some small scuffs, and these are all simple. Even our boots need to be shined, and we apologize for that.
Don't call me old burning eyes for nothing, and I'll flash with thaumaturgy pouring silver flame out of my eyes as they wreath my eyebrows that are just a little too long.
They cower, kind of fade under the silvery flame. We beg your forgiveness, Captain. What should our atonement be?
For now, rise, and I will see you return to glory. Continue to lead us into the state.
Yes, Captain. And they once again go two on a side, and they begin marching you on a very familiar path. Olari, you've walked this path hundreds of times, not thousands, although it's been quite a while since you've walked it. Your old patrol path that leads around the perimeter of the estate, and you know that these guards, well, you don't recognize them in their current form with their helmet visors down. The estate was always turning over security quite frequently. In fact, you're one of the few that stayed regularly. However, they're leading you towards the training hall, which is off to the side. And what do you remember about this training hall, Olarian?
Lion falls back into an old training movement, just thinking on 1, 2, parry, lift, 1, 2, again, faster. Not fast enough. Never fast enough. And you can hear, or he can hear, the echoes and shouts from the arena which he prided himself, of which he tried to gain glory for the house. Never quite winning anything, but always dreaming of that championship. He begins to hum ever so slightly. Maybe those closest to Vesper, you might hear a little bit of it. An anthem, an ode to the Raventree house. It's out of tune a bit. He's not really a singer, but he's sure good at humming. He remembers the sounds of this yard. He remembers this path. And for a moment, it gives him joy just to feel useful again. To have members of this house under his command once again. He stands a little taller. He looks over back behind him at the slouching march of his companions. Thinks about barking an order and then just continues along.
So far away from the sounds of a march, right? No rhythm at all.
All of you
Friends.
Hopefully
Start-
not at all.
all of you start to hear that all of the guards, your ghostly companions, have also started to hum the same anthem, same tune, the sing-song marching tune. Unfortunately for you all, the 5 of them are humming 4 different beats.
Vesper's gonna pull out her panpipe and try and just kind of keep them in line together a little bit, like the
Try to
best she
unify
can,
it.
kind of.
That's great.
Can you give me a check?
I would love to. It's gonna be so great, guys.
Hey!
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
look at that!
Ooh, very nice. We love that. So
Love a
you
dirty 20.
you bring them, all 5 of them, into step with each other, humming beautifully as they march you guys all towards the training hall.
Like, I didn't want to interrupt Ilarian's scene, but earlier when they were like at attention, ready for inspection, and still, Marius would look at their swords and try to compare. Does that look about the right width and sharpness that it could have been responsible for all of those marks along the body? Perhaps an entry and exit wound
Yeah.
from the sword?
Give me an investigation, please, for that, with advantage, because this bit of knowledge does pertain to your case.
All right. 26.
26, very nice. So with the 26, you would know that these swords that you're seeing the guards hold are consistent. The stab wounds, the elven corpse that you found, looks like he was punctured several times and dragged himself over to that nearby grove where his wounds were too much for him.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but did one of the bodies have both the double puncture mark and the entry wounds here?
So the
Or-
elf had the stab wound. Elf had
Both had
these,
stab wounds. Yeah.
and then the dwarf had just the puncture wounds and the swelling and the purple.
Okay. So one for one for the other, and then we saw the same wounds again.
Stab wound.
The same stab wounds on the third victim. That just
No. The third
No.
victim was strangled, had her neck
right,
snapped.
right. She had all the different causes. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
What is
interesting.
everybody's passive perception?
14.
15.
11.
13.
Instinct observant, but I've got.
Anybody who has at least a 15 in their passive perception would notice that while they are marching, none of the ghost guards are leaving footprint.
Told you no feet.
Yep.
They
Yep.
just stayed away. There's no feet.
Killers.
But-
That's wrong!
Trickery.
Killers of who? There's been 3 dead bodies.
At least one. That's the thing, right? We've got to tie it all together.
Which one did they kill? Couldn't hear you.
We missed that part.
Yeah. No, Marius just sort of gestures, just points all along his body to try not to attract too much attention to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Dragovar
Well-
will speak up and be like, "The armor-clad one knows much. He could command a report from these ghosts."
Knows much or could get them to talk much, I think, are different things here.
Certainly knows that.
Dragovar, can you give me a... what would this be? Give me a wisdom saving throw.
How do I do that on this? Saving throw. There's a saving throw. 11.
You feel this deep, unsettling itching at the back of your neck when you look at these guards, and now you're looking at Ilarion in a new light, knowing that he's their captain, potentially, because something in your mind says that you walk the same path from the shadows, dodging these same guards at one point.
I make myself as scarce as I can without losing myself from the just kind of slither into the shadows as much as possible.
Very nice. Eventually, after a few minutes of walking, you guys come to a large building. And what was once the pride of the estate, the training hall now stands solemn decay at the edge of the overgrown ground. Near the front, not far from the wrought iron gate. This building is half swallowed by ivy and shadow. Towering arched windows, once filled with panes of stained glass depicting heroic duels and mythical triumph, are now broken and shattered all over the ground, nothing but shards remaining.
I thank thee for your service. I must ask for your report now. How many bandits did you slay upon the road, defending this place?
Captain, the last we counted, we took down 10 bandits over the course of a week trying to invade our spaces, but we could not do anything about the explosion.
And when the explosion occurred, were there any losses?
We regret to report that the entire house, save for some staff, were dining in the hall when it exploded.
Well, what about that mage woman? They surely got them out.
They're still looking survivors, Captain. We've been told to maintain the perimeter until the search concluded. As of yet, the bandits keep coming.
Does the house look very exploded?
From where you are situated, no.
Marius will step back and lean in towards Clover. Actually, no, I'll just use a message as well. Let's see. Those papers? How many of the letters?
How many letters did I find?
About between like 8 and a dozen, around there.
That was more than I thought. 8 to a dozen. Like, like 10.
About 10?
Yeah.
Gonna erase or like strike through the name of my case and then rewrite on top of it, like above it, the Manor murders.
That's a much better title right there.
I thought so.
Why not woman or murders?
It's true, it could be a lady killer.
Captain, we also have something positive to report.
Tapley shoe.
At the request, Lord, they float inside of the building, and inside there's vaulted ceiling, crumbling timbers, banners, to all sorts of masters that trained here, excelled here. You recognize and you can count exactly where your master, be a Larian, but all of these tapestries are nothing but tatters. And right there, above the door you just walked in, they present, and you turn around, carved into a wooden plaque. Not fast enough.
I tap it 3 times, and you do well to remember it.
In unison, all 4 of them. Yes, Captain.
Go now. I will check in with you on your next rotation.
Yes, Captain. And 2 of them go off to spar with each other in the training hall, and the other 2 go out on another patrol.
Well, that was exciting.
Very well handled.
That's one word for it.
They're creepy.
Very much so.
They'd also
Are
be
they
quite difficult to
Ghosts?
kill. You tell me, you're the expert on ghosts.
Yeah, do I get ghost, phantom, otherworldly energy off of them?
Yes, absolutely. They are spectral in every form.
Yeah, I don't think those guys are alive.
Their spirit's unbroken. And we can
How are
use
they
that.
still here?
Well, not sure about the rest of you, but in my service, I swore an oath to uphold the protection of this place before I was sent away. On very extremely important business. For the family, of course.
It's hatching. No.
Lying bastard.
Vesper, you hear a humming from your chest, and your locket whispers to you, the family has ways of keeping those in service here. We call them housebound.
I don't share that right this second with anybody.
But Alarian, standing inside your one glorious trading hall that you beat up in so many times, learning, mastering, perfecting, honing, to have your phrase carved into the wall, still hanging here. How are you feeling?
To be honest, a little overwhelmed. Not exactly as I remember, but seeing it run down and at a loss. I was called here for a purpose, and perhaps that purpose is left. But it doesn't matter right now. I don't have time to restore this. I have business to attend to, and I'm certain my companions do as well, and though my feelings are apparent, I try to settle them. And I turn to Vesper and look, if there's any way you can continue to help me influence these spirit folk, it could become quite useful still.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you need help influencing them.
I'm not certain how spirits will continue to listen to me. They're not angry from dying?
It occurs to me that perhaps the family somehow has control of them from beyond the grave.
If that is the case, I do not wish for them to perish. Again.
Or that I mean, I'm not getting any feelings of like trapped or unrest from them, am I? Okay. I mean,
That if the time
for right
comes-
now, yeah. I mean, for right now, it seems like you can influence them, but, you know, if I can help in any way that doesn't involve dying, I surely will.
I appreciate that.
No problem, cuz trying
Taking
that
one
out.
Testing
Lorian
it.
blushes like more than he thought he could. Come on now, let's find a way in. Right? There's the obvious entrance over there, but what are we all feeling?
Maybe I can send my familiar out to see what may be ahead.
How quaint.
Devil's advocate, the house seemed to welcome, or at least the spirits in service to the house seemed to welcome Alarian. So maybe he can just walk in because the house knows you so well.
I belong here, not in the dining halls or other places in the house. Not yet.
But you lived here.
I did. For a time.
The rest of you, did you all live here?
I didn't.
Kinda?
It's very
Well,
possible
never
we
seen-
lived here at different times.
I've never been here myself, so I'm just taking it all in.
The same for me as well. This is my first time here.
It looks a lot different. So
I agree with that
everyone's more or
statement.
less on the same ground.
Well, I'm sure the
Would it hurt
outhouses are
doing,
still in operation.
What about you, No Shadow? You from around here?
Dragovar will kind of shift in the darkness. I am a returning visitor to this place. See, as he finishes fiddling with the shackles that have been sort of attached to him, kind of lockpicks them and drops them to the ground. By this point, he's taken his long hair and sort of he's had a moment to kind of pull it back, and in like a very fluid and dexterous display, just kind of weaves it into a tight braid in a very matter of seconds. And he almost looks like a completely different individual. He looks almost presentable. He's wiped all the blood from his face as best he can. Looks more stable than you initially found him. My time here was spent in a very confined space. But I am interested in what we might find if we enter.
You were held here against your will? Or were you... Sorry.
I was a prisoner. And a blade by some of those that
Maris does not look surprised. Yes. I'm sorry.
Did you do it?
No. No, I haven't been here in a very long time. Probably happened during time.
Our apologies are not needed. If we look together, perhaps I will find the ones who I seek.
Can work with that.
Next, as you all turn and leave the training hall, Valarian, you take one last glance, and you're comforted knowing that, despite all of its ruin, that place holds a quiet dignity. As you close the doors and turn, you find your little group gathered around a garden statue, overgrown with ivy, to the point that it's unrecognizable. It's essentially just a large bush at this point. The training hall would be right off to the side here. Find yourself facing the west side of the manor. Those who have been here before have been in the house. What is your passive history?
It's
11.
17.
I wasn't allowed in the house. We were only allowed on the outside.
That
This is the first time I've ever been inside.
in the house, all right.
Immediately wipes their muddy feet on the carpet.
Alarian, what's your passive? You've been inside the house?
Yeah, but this thing doesn't really work. I unattuned to it long ago. Yeah, when I swore my oath, so it's 10.
Marius?
Yeah.
You feel pride, maybe? Followed by sadness, perhaps? I don't know how you'll feel. This space immediately in front of you, beyond the garden statue, the library. One of your favorite places to be. What do you remember about the library? There was a special nook you used to hide in, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was my favorite because nobody used to go full of dust. So that was the first bit of comfort, and then the second was all the stories contained inside the books. An expansion of the world beyond, the manor house and propriety. All these adventures, but then as he got older, science and mystery novels and magical theory and philosophers wondering about the truth of the universe. It was in this small room that his mind got so much bigger, and suddenly this massive manor felt so stifling. So there is a sense of comfort, but a place of comfort within a place of pain is still a place of pain. So it is, I think he forgets to breathe for a heartbeat or two when he catches the side of the window. Maybe the nook is dusty again.
Very, very dusty.
Maybe sees a flash of when you kind of look somewhere, but you have a memory of being there, so you kind of imagine yourself in the third person at that moment.
Yep.
I don't think it's not a ghost or anything, but he does see sort of in his head a younger Marius, reading,
It's a
flipping a page through the window.
yeah. I can see baby Marius flipping a page, reading a book, being very excited. It's a strange little nook. It's not really a nook. It's more like, due to the architecture of the room, this space between the shelves ended up being here, and you could kind of close yourself off with the towers of books you would haul over there to read all afternoon while your parents and family members were off being noble.
I think maybe there's a little secret compartment or something that he made. You know, like the hiding spaces only kids know, where he'd read the books that he got scolded for reading. It wonders if there's one still there, and what it was. Can't remember.
Very
Maybe
nice.
I'll check it out.
But as you're having this little memory, Marius, how would the group, the family, like proceed?
What kind of plants are around and like growing in and out of these doorways and like manor stuff? Like, is there silvergrass around? Like, what's happening?
So a lot of the immediate area, these are just thick, thorny brambles and vines. They're very difficult to walk through. They would be very painful, but they are non-magical as far as you can tell. They're just very invasive. And you're here, we have some overgrown trees and shrubbery that you could push your way through if you needed to. But as far as you can tell, at least here, immediately around the house proper, you don't see any of the three plants.
Okay. Well, are we gonna stay outside? Or are we just gonna go in? Say hello.
Well, I'm not walking in first.
Very well. Point, and I shall go.
I mean, I think the front door's over there still. I don't think that part
time I
moved.
last time I went first, I got choked out. So,
Not your thing, right?
well, not here.
We can all head over. Not
If you want to
sending
go,
in someone to.
if you want to go first, I'll announce you.
Please.
Locomos.
That's quite all right.
No, that's all right. I don't know. I think I'll stay back here. With the look at Vesper. Poet.
We're gonna bring up the rear. Got this. Muscles up front, magic in the back.
Dregovar will creep up next to Marius and just kind of watch for whatever his moves are.
Morris is aware that he probably shouldn't be in front, but it's like everyone seems to be hovering, so it takes that step to see if that gets the momentum going. And people just start moving.
Clover's just cradling her rifle and just like waiting for people to move with Whisker Biscuit right in front of her. Like, we're ready when y'all are.
There we go. Time to move forward.
I can't
Oh, we can use
see.
arrow keys. Nice.
Valarian, you need to be in front of me.
Is it supposed to be dark on my screen? I see all of our names. And I can
Oh,
hover
you're-
something.
You don't have vision?
You
No,
don't
I
have
can
you
s-
have it
Oh, okay.
access. 1 moment.
I need F5.
Let's try that. Did that help?
Oh, I just refreshed.
I
Oh,
was a
well.
fool and forgot to fill my water. I'll be right back.
So, what are you saying?
For some reason, mine is very off center, so I can kind
Oh,
of
here we
see it, but it is very difficult to.
I'm stuck in the house.
Now I can see. Okay.
can't move.
I don't know. It is very sensitive. Like I think there's some walls or something that I just
Some sticky
stay well
walls.
clear.
Yeah.
Stay well clear of the walls.
I would, but like that's my whole jam.
Yeah, stay.
Stay away from the walls. Count the shadows.
Got the shadow. Oh no.
Wait,
Stay away from the shadows.
It's
Dark
Vashna
shadowy
Rada
figure.
and Vashna Rada in this campaign. We're screwed.
not the forest.
No. These are our forests.
Let's stick together, horny. And she snaps it at Locomos.
Why that name of all names?
You have one horn. You're horny.
I
Only fair.
I mean, yes, I do have one horn, but never mind.
Listen, if you don't like it, I'll figure out another nickname for you. It's fine.
It's
Wait.
whatever. I'll take it.
In this party, we can consent to our nicknames before we actually do them. Because I've never been in a group like that. My family don't even work like that, y'all. Ooh, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to pick out mine.
Neither
So,
can I.
as you approach the front door, grand, ruined door, you can see that the family's crest, raven head on a shield, has been carved into both sides of this door that has been almost consumed entirely by ivy. Once more, rust has sealed these doors shut. Their hinges, their latches, nothing will move. You try, the three of you, and no general effort will get these doors to move.
Could I try something? Ilarian, do you consent to have something tried on you?
Does it involve unsheathing thy muscles?
Yes.
Then yes.
um,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Vesper-
whoa, whoa.
Vesper is gonna cast enlarge on
Just on his biceps, right?
and so he's gonna have advantage on strength. He's gonna be one size larger, have advantage on strength and strength saving throws, and you also get an extra D4 on any damage to a hit you do.
Whoa!
How do you cast enlarge?
I pull out one of my cards and whatever it is, because I need to do some research on tarot. It's a big guy, and she kind of like it's like she throws the card, except she's not really throwing the card. It's the card's magic, and it goes out to Ilarian.
I didn't know I had a vein here.
It's like a gambit
Ooh.
throw, almost.
Spicy. I feel really spicy.
You all watch as Alarian swells, and grows with power of this tarot card as it surges through him, and now you are almost mindless, Alarian, with this tenacious energy. How do you want to
mean,
tackle this
almost?
door?
I tackle the door! Ah! Oh.
Thusly.
Give me a strength check.
But I don't want to use my head.
With advantage.
Can this be athletics? I did go out for sports when I was younger.
Sure, I will allow an athletics check.
Surely in like guard training there would be door kicking class.
Almost certainly. That's right after what would that be? Like Barricades 101.
Yeah, exactly.
Jotun
They have
Ra!
Yeah.
Ooh.
With a shattering smash, giant Alarian kicks in the door, sends it flying, rust flittering everywhere in the air.
I'm not
And you
wearing
guys-
pants, or I'd kick the camera.
You get to stay that way for a minute, so, if there's something else you need to kick, feel free.
Oh, I just need 30 seconds. Wait.
Vesper? Whisker Biscuit and I just talked, and if you ever want to do that to him, he is on board.
For letting me know about Whisker Biscuit's enthusiastic consent.
Absolutely.
Concerned about him getting bigger?
Alarian plus Alarian equals full elf Alarian. I can't fit through the door. Not only did I get taller, but I got wider. Oh,
I mean, you'd look so stretched out if you did.
Maybe it's not a
probably a good
short
thing.
sword anymore.
breaching my britches.
It's an average sword.
It's very average, yes. I've worked hard to attain it, and I take care of it every day, sometimes twice a day.
It is not short. It is not great. It is so.
So, what's
All
that?
right.
Oh.
Well, as you stand in front of the shattered tree door, you can see the expansive foyer of the Raventree Manor inside. There's no light, very little filtering in, cracks in the roof and the floor above it. Empty windows revealing a forlorn, filthy scene. And I think it's a good place for us to end tonight.
Wow. Ah.
Already?
Not the entrance.
I know
He doesn't
already.
think a half an hour is enough for what comes next.
No, it is really not. But you'll have
warning us.
to. You'll have to stay tuned for next time, which is not going to be in a week like it normally is. It's going to be in 2 weeks on the 24th. Okay, 24th of June. We're taking next week off. Sam and I are gonna go on a fun little vacation, so that'll be fun. But yeah,
Yay.
so we'll be back and we will get into the house proper finally, and we'll start to explore and we'll see what sort of mysterious goings on. Because now we know that there's a murderer running around potentially, and some spooky ghosts that are going on too. So this was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I've been Link from Link of Adventure. You can find me running games almost every day of the week. If you enjoyed our my style, you can come and join a Tome game today. Thank you all so much for coming out. It was absolutely fantastic. And as Sam finds somebody for us to raid tonight, we're just going to go in the same order we went before. Loki, who are you and where can we find you?
I am Loki or Irving. You can find me on Facebook, where I am making a comic book called Black Dragons. You can find it at www.facebook.com/blackdragons7592. I also
It is
stream.
Utterly fantastic. You should go check out that comic book immediately.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Erin, you're next. I think. Wait, no, it's Amy. I'm sorry, it's Amy.
It's me? Oh,
It's
hi.
you.
I'm Amy. I'm also known as Dancing Gnome. I stream right here on Twitch on the weekends every morning that I possibly can. Every Saturday and Sunday morning I possibly can, remind you. So grab that cup of coffee and come wake up with me and shoot the shit. That's what we do. That's what we do best.
What's your Twitch handle?
Dancing Gnome.
There you go. Easy.
Also has
What's
above
me?
average Dead by Daylight gameplay. All right, Aaron, go.
Yeah.
I'm Erin. You can find me on TikTok at Even Footnotes or Even Footing Games. You can find Babies and Broadswords on Amazon, or order it from your favorite indie bookstore, or get it on Drive Through RPG. All of the places that you can find TTRPGs, you can find that. And also, if you follow our socials, we have a very soon announcement on that front.
I'm very excited for that. I don't know what it is, but I'm very excited, and I'm waiting for my copies of Babies and Broadswords to get here now. But it's on the way, and as soon as it is, we'll be running it at the Tome.
Yeah, copy.
Hell yeah.
We have a copy, then why did you let me... Never mind. Alex, you're next.
Hi, I'm Alex. You can find me here. I'm here. This is where I'm at. I don't have socials, so it's really hard to find me, but you can join, if you want, the Banners and Blades Discord server for a cinematic mass combat system that's in development right now. If you want to keep an eye on that, one of these days I'll get the link ahead of time for Sam. You can drop it in the chat there. But if you look for it, I'm sure you can find it. But otherwise, we'll see you next time here. That's where you can find me.
Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and that is all of these links, all of these wonderful people you can find chatting and hanging out in the Tome Discord server.
Trey.
I'm not forgetting him. We're getting there.
Okay.
We gotta build up to Trey over here. Anyway, Trey, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Trey. I feel like I've been built up too much. I am, for also here. You can find me on Instagram as Blue Muse Creations if you're interested in some of the work that I've done before, but we will be having more work in the TTRPG space posted in the near future as we get our projects wrapped up. So I look forward to sharing that with all of you.
Nice. Now, all of these lovely people can be found in our Discord server as well, which you can find linked below. And we'll have links to all of those people everywhere. Sam, bring us home.
We're already home. But yeah. First of all, I wanted to give a big thank you to Newly Forged and to Chaotic Wholesome. Thank you so much for the raids tonight. We appreciate you. We follow you on all the things, so looking forward to catching up on your content, and I'm glad your streams went well. If you are looking to listen to some more homebrew content, you can join us every other Friday over on the Tome server, where we're running in our homebrew world of Arencia. This is the world that Link created, and I've been like adding to and having a great old time doing that. You'll catch Loki will be in that, which will be great, and so Link. Other than that, we've also got some cool stuff that Link will talk about one more time, and then we will be raiding our friends over on Dork Tales, who are doing their session 0 of Daggerheart. And if you love Daggerheart content, you can check it out at the Tome. We'll teach you how to play anytime.
Yeah, so
They're
we
really good
got...
at it.
Yeah, we love Daggerheart. We have been stands of Daggerheart for quite a while. That is where Arencia was originally set, and Forget Your Darlings, whatever that becomes, will also be in Daggerheart. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You can come check out any of our games. We have a stage for all of our Tome games. You can come and watch and hang out in the audience there in our Discord server. And if you want to get in and play with the Tome right away, sometime probably tomorrow, I will be announcing the Steven Universe one-shot, two-shot technically. That's going to be set in the Cypher system, so it's a fun, flexible system that is a lot of fun, and there's going to be fusions, there's going to be off-colors, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So if you're a fan of Steven Universe, come and check us out, and check out the Discord below, because that's where you keep up to date on all the fun Tome stuff. All right, that's all I got.
Bye.
Everybody say bye, chat.
Bye,
Bye,
chat.
Bye, chat.